Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am bringing you a full makeup tutorial on this makeup look. This is my first holiday season inspired makeup look in my channel and I'm really excited about it because I'm really vibing with these colors and the overall makeup look, and I feel like this screams holiday season. I don't know, but the burgundy lip just has something to do with Christmas and New Year's Eve in my head. But anyways, I really love this makeup look and I hope you do too, so if you're interested on knowing how I did it, just keep on watching. So first I'm going to start by doing my eye makeup just because I'm planning on doing an eyeliner and I want to make sure that I have the room to fix the wing or something if I need to. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. First I'm going to use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This is my first step as usual and I'm going to apply it directly and then I'm going to use a beauty blender to blend it. I filled in my brows as usual, so I'm just trying not to mess them up. As you probably know by now, I always do this just because the concealer helps me even out my skin tone, so it kind of creates a perfect and solid base for the eyeshadows. So next, I am taking this Kat Von D translucent powder and with a regular large blending brush, I am placing it on top of the concealer to set it. I'm not using a large amount of powder, actually I'm being really light-handed with it, which is something that I really recommend to you because once you apply the eyeshadows, you don't want it to get super patchy because you have excess powder. To do this eye makeup look, I am going to use the Ultimate Utopia palette from NYX and I am going to start by applying this really light pink shade all over my crease. And to blend it, I am using a 228 from Zoeva. This doesn't add a lot of depth, not to say it doesn't add any, but it kind of gives like that pink undertone, which I really enjoy. Next, I am going in with this color and I am using the same brush to apply it and blend it all over my crease. This is a darker eyeshadow, but not too dark. But one thing that I'm doing is that while the brush has the most product in it, I am keeping the blending in the outer part of my eye, and only when the brush has pretty much nothing left on, then I am bringing it towards the inner corner. This will help me just focusing the darkness in the outer corner of my eye. Now, as usual, I am just pulling the eyeshadows outwards. I want this makeup look to be something a lot more wearable, not as full glam, so that beginners don't feel intimidated to try it out. Now, just to add a little bit of depth and to shape my eye a little bit more, I'm using this dark brown and I am placing it in the outer part of my crease using the 234 from Zoeva. I'm just packing it exactly on my crease and then I'll blend it, obviously. As you can see, I'm keeping it in the outer half. Now that I feel like I've placed enough eyeshadow on my crease, before I start blending it out, I am going to apply the same eyeshadow in the outer V. It's like I'm actually building a V in the outer part of my eye. So I pretty much removed any excess pigment that I had on my brush, the one that I just used. So now I am going to use it to blend slightly the eyeshadow that I've applied on my crease, because I want to still have that depth in there and to shape my eye, but I don't want any harsh lines as usual, so I'm just going to use it to slightly blend the eyeshadow. Something that really helps is to try to place the brush where the eyeshadow ends, not exactly on the crease, but right where it ends. Now going in with my 228 from Zoeva, I am just pulling the eyeshadow outward just like I did in the previous eyeshadows. Also, the 234 that I've used from Zoeva is not the best one to blend because it's kind of tiny and flat, so if you feel the need to, you can always go over the eyeshadows with 228 from Zoeva. One thing that I would highly recommend is not to place the brush where the eyeshadow is the most intense, because you don't want to bring it all over your crease or way too high on your eye, because this is supposed to be a little bit softer. So I would highly recommend to you to place it slightly above the crease so that you only blend the transition between eyeshadows and not the full crease. Now I am going to take the first pink eyeshadow that I used, which is this really light one, and using the M210 from Morphe, I am going to place it in the first half of my lid. I am using the 234 that I used to apply the darker eyeshadow just to diffuse the edges. To finish off this eye makeup look, I am using my eyeliner. This is the 77 from INGLOT, and I'm going to do it using the 31T brush from INGLOT as well. So now that the eyeliner is done, and yes, I do it off camera just because I am so focused while I'm doing it that I don't even talk, so it kind of gets weird if I put it in the video. But anyways, I'm moving on to lashes, and first, as usual, I'm going to curl my lashes. This curler is from NYX. Now moving on to lashes. This time I won't be applying a full string of lashes. I will be applying individuals, and I'm going to use this ones from Primark. This is in the size medium. I'm applying the first ones right in the end of my lashes. So now moving on to the short size of these lashes, I'm taking one and I'm going to apply it right next to the two medium ones that I've applied. I feel like this will give a lot more density to my lashes without adding that dramatic effect that the lashes that I would apply would. I am taking some more short ones. I'm just applying one more in each eye, and that is it for false lashes. Now that I've finished applying all the falsies that I want to apply, I'm going to curl the lashes together just to give them that lift and also to blend them together. Now to finish the upper part of my eye, I am going in with the Size Up mascara from Sephora, and yes, this is still that sample. And one thing that I really love about samples is that they are super amazing for when you're traveling. They pretty much don't take any space. So now moving on to complexion, I am going to start by applying the Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer from NYX all over my complexion, except for my nose and in this area right here, just because in these areas I have such large pores that I'm going in with another primer that is more specific for this kind of situation. As usual, I am pressing the primer against my skin because it also helps filling in those large pores. And I don't know, it just makes it set a little bit better. Now, for those even larger pores, I am going in with the Bare With Me Hydrating Gel Primer, also from NYX. And I love the consistency of this because when you open it, it's like jelly. It's exactly like jelly. And even though it looks kind of messed up right here, it's just because of the lid of it. And a few seconds later, it's just perfectly flawless jelly and it's super satisfying in my opinion. I'm just going to tap like this, and as you can see, some product comes right in my finger and I'm going to apply it on my nose. I just do these motions because this is supposed to help me fill those large pores, so I feel like if I press it, it will actually fill. If I drag it, it will just move the primer around. I'm also going to apply it in here, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm really vibing with this eye makeup. It's super simple. It has like 3 eyeshadows or something. And yeah, the eyeliner is probably the toughest part, but it's such a gorgeous makeup look even though it's super soft. I really love it. Now that the primer is pretty much set, I am going in with my color correcting fluid from Naked Skin by Urban Decay, by the way. And I'm going to apply in the areas that I want to color correct, which are my dark circles. And yes, they have been popping lately. So I guess that's what my face would look like if I didn't have dark circles. But anyways, now moving on to foundation, I'm using the same old one. This is the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Invisible Cover Foundation. I am applying it with my buffer brush from Zoeva, which is the 104, all over my complexion except for those areas in which I applied the jelly primer to fill those larger pores, just because the brush will just move the product around. At least that's what I feel. So in those areas I prefer to go in with my beauty blender. One thing that I really love about applying foundation with a brush is that it's super fast to apply. And if the brush is as big as this one, it just covers such a large amount of skin. Just makes everything faster. Now I'm going in with my beauty blender to apply foundation in those areas that I told you about, and also to even out my foundation application in the rest of my face. So now I am going in with my NARS concealer, the Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm going to apply it in the areas that I want to highlight. I'm only using my beauty blender to blend this. Guys, you have no idea, but my lighting setup warms up the room so much that my beauty blender is constantly drying and I have to damp it again. So that is it for creamy formulas. Now I'm going in again with my Kat Von D translucent powder and I'm going to set my full complexion. And as usual, before I set the under eye area, I always make sure to blend the creasing that might have happened in the meantime. I'm going to use this large brush from Primark. This is really old. I don't even know if they still sell it, to be honest. Don't forget to set your jawline, because if you are wearing something with a high neck, this is a critical area when it comes to makeup transferring to your clothes. So setting it will make sure that it's not going to transfer anywhere. And also, if you are wearing a mask, you also want to make sure that you set this area right here really well. But if you want to learn a little bit more on how to make your makeup not transfer to your clothes or to your mask, I have a video dedicated to that topic, which I will leave linked down below. I'm just applying a large amount of powder because I want to bake this area to prevent further creasing and, you know, just to set it really well. Also, I like to bake the bridge of my nose because this is an oily area, so it's a fragile area in my face for me. And also because this will help me shape my nose as well, because it will bring some light. I always feel like baking brings in some light into the face, if that makes sense. To bring some shadows back to my face again, I am for the first time using the Shade and Light palette from KVD Beauty, and I bought this for my freelance makeup kit, but obviously I want to try it on myself first because I want to learn how to work with this formula and I want to get to know it before I apply it on a client. I am going in with this kind of tiny Morphe brush. And by the way, I didn't tell you guys, but I'm using this middle shade. One thing that I notice is that a lot of product comes out. To be honest, I really like to work with this brush just because of how precise it is. I always like to apply it like this, just because I feel like I have a really large chin, so, and I kind of have a double chin, even though I'm skinny. So this will kind of just help it look a little bit more slim and, you know, gives it a better shape. Now I'm taking my Japanese brush just to apply this contour shade all over my forehead. I like to use this brush on my forehead just because I have a really large forehead. Now I'm just dusting off the baking powder that I still have left. Using that same angled brush from Morphe, I am going to apply just a little bit of this contour shade in the sides of my nose and below it. Using this drugstore brush, I am also going to apply a little bit right below my lower lip. And I'm also going to use this brush to help the contour shade to connect with my brow. Now I'm going to spray my face using the Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray from NYX. This will help me get rid of that powdery feeling. Now for blush, I am using the one that comes in this little palette from Benefit, which is this pink shade, and it's in the shade California. To apply it, I am using the same Japanese brush, but obviously I clean it. I don't want to apply too much blush, to be honest, so I'm keeping it really light. Before moving on to highlighter, I am just quickly going to do my lower lash line. So going back to the NYX Ultimate Utopia palette, using this golden brush from Morphe, which is the Y something, I am taking this darker shade of pink and I am going to apply it all over my lash line. Also, don't forget to connect the eyeshadows from the bottom part of your eye with the ones in the upper part. This doesn't mean that you have to apply more eyeshadow in this area. That will be just a complete mess. You just have kind of to push the eyeshadow in this corner a little bit upwards. Next, with this brush from Morphe, this is the M210. I am picking the darker brown shade that we used, and I am going to apply this as close as possible to my lash line. Now I'm going in with this brush again just to blend the two eyeshadows together. Okay, so that is it. I still want to add a little bit more depth to the lower lash line, so I am going in with my usual brown pencil. This is my favorite. I love this pencil, and once I run out of it, I will buy it again. That's how much I love it. I'm just going to apply it in the lower lash line. Now the only thing that I have left, as you might notice, is the highlighter and my lips. But before moving on to highlighter, I'm going to spray my face one more time because I like when my skin is a little bit humid because it grabs the highlighter a lot better and it makes it look like it's actually your skin glowing. The highlighter that I'm using is the same old one. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in the shade Moonstone. I am using this Morphe brush from the same collection than the other two that I've used. And I love to apply highlighter with this kind of big blending brush because it helps me being a lot more precise. and it just helps blending in the highlighter with the rest of the complexion a lot better. And as always, I apply it in this area right here where the light directly hits my face, and I bring it all the way down until the apples of my cheeks. I also like to apply a little bit in here, not too much. And with one of the Shade and Light brushes from KVD, I am applying the highlighter in the bridge of my nose. And obviously also on the tip. And last but not least, I am applying it in my cupid's bow, a little bit in the brow bone. This really helps you making your eyes pop a lot more. A little bit in the inner corner, just to add that pop of brightness. Now for the lip part, which I'm kind of excited, I'm not gonna lie. I am taking the famous matte lipstick from Huda Beauty. I love this lipstick so much and I haven't used it in a while. But first I'm going to line my lips with a color that is pretty much mine. This is from Candice Bernice and the shade is Malvetish. The only reason why I am not applying a lip liner in the shade of the lipstick or darker is just because I don't have it. That's me just being completely honest. I'm just using this lip pencil to help me define the edges of my lips because sometimes they are kind of blurred. Now that I finished lining my lips, I am moving on to the lipstick, which, as I've told you, I am really excited about. Hey guys, I am back. I just finished applying my lipstick, and while I was applying it, I noticed that I completely forgot to apply mascara in the lower lash line, but I took care of that, so here we are. And this is how the lipstick looks like now that you can actually see how deep the color is. I love this lip color and it has been in my drawer for such a long time. I completely forgot that I had it. But anyways, this is the full makeup look. I really love this makeup look. I feel like it's super festive, and I don't know, when it comes to fall and winter, I always go for more dark shades, especially when it comes to lipsticks. So this makes me feel really cozy and really, I don't know, ready for this season, for the holiday season. But yeah, I really love this makeup look, but I also want to know what you guys think about it. So don't forget to leave me your feedback down below. And also, if you like this video, don't forget to like it. And if you enjoy watching my content, don't forget to subscribe my channel because it's an amazing way of supporting me and helping me grow my channel. So yeah guys, I hope you liked it and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!